My neighbor Chris and myself both want to extend our culverts. We're going to put in 20-foot additional culvert so we have, in my case, more room to turn into the driveway. In Chris's case, makes it easier to get to his mailbox. Let's get started. I'm gonna have to pull some of this dirt back. I put it right here where I knew we'd want it, but I need to get in there with the backhoe and dig that out a little bit deeper. One alternative would be to put the tractor in the road, dig that way, but yeah, we'll just use this approach. Put the tractor back here, a little safer. So it looks to me like that we have got a lot of uphill here.
We do. We got a pretty good run.
So we're not going to be able to put it in there flat. If we did, the whole end would be buried. But at the same time, I think we've got too much dirt still, or rocks or whatever, still right in here, don't you?
Yeah.
So we're going to have to dip that out a little bit, but then get a little bit of a slope and have it headed upward. Well, I think we should get
A laser.
out, and then we can get the bottom of this looking like we want.
Yeah.
Before
we drop it in. So only have to move it once.
Hopefully.
One and done.
So that's my 0 point.
Okay.
So Chris, what we have to decide now is where you want the bottom of the pipe at this end, right? I mean, we can put the bottom of the pipe right here at the base of my laser, or we could go a couple inches lower. You know, where do you want the bottom of the pipe at this end?
Yeah, I'm fine with coming in at full height. That gives it the maximum flow if there's water.
Okay, so based on that, how much slope are we gonna have to put in it? It's gonna be a lot.
You were at 6, 7, you're at 6.5.
So we got 6.5 inches of drop in the pipe we're gonna have to put in that distance. So this is a tool that Neil from Dig Drive DIY taught me. He calls it a linker stick. And it allows you to see the amount of cut or fill that you need anywhere along here. So we go along here. You know, I don't have to hold it up here and guess. I can put it down here, and then I can move the reader. And once I get the reader leveled, I can read off of here that we have a 1/2 foot to fill. When we set it on the ground and it comes up to 0, that means it's perfect.
So the question now is, where are we high and where are we low?
Yeah.
How much do you want to take out and put a gravel under the base? Okay, so if it was icy out and whatnot, and you were here and a car starts to come, if you stepped up here, that's
slip.
exactly what happens.
Okay.
It's not good.
So the object is to put
make this flat.
in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we want this flat so you could actually drive Mr. Golf Cart around it. Yeah.
That will be nicer.
It will be, and it'll cover the edge of the concrete. You're high about 1.5 inches.
This is where we'll need to put that apron, right?
Yeah, the apron is right about where you're at. We've got about 1.5 feet extra.
I was gonna dump this in from the roadside, but there was a car coming. So I decided to do it from this side, which is a lot more complicated.
Go ahead and pull out.
It looks to me like it's sitting on hard surface all the way along there too.
Yeah, I brought some bricks if we want to chalk along the side.
Okay, do it.
You know, can't hurt, as they say. Do we want to use the original loop, which is already kind of a nice shape, or go to the trouble trying to bend it this one?
I go with option A.
I would too. Watch your hand. I got gloves on.
It's even a little bit low. Won't hurt it, will it?
Yeah, I don't think that makes any
Because
difference.
the pipe is a little higher anyway.
Yep.
I told Chris there was a no return policy on his dirt. I could give him a full refund if he wasn't satisfied, or I could send him another order, but I am unwilling to take returns. If you haven't seen it, you can see our removing or leveling the hump episodes where we've tried to move a lot of the big hump that was in our front yard. Made good progress on it, but we're not done. Now we're getting started on our side of the road. The ends of our culvert have a good bit of rock in it. It's just not wide enough overall, so I end up pushing rock off in it when I'm clearing snow, and so we're going to fix that. Given where that pipe is, we're going to have to dig a little of this ditch out. But we're going to have fall, I believe, no problem.
Good.
You happy?
Yeah, it's good.
How about there?
You're about a ½ inch high or low.
Half inch too low?
Yeah, that's it. Not
So,
much.
can I get it in there now?
I think you can.
I mean, we don't have to take any more off there, do we?
I don't think, because that's level ground.
I agree. What's it have to be, 3 inches or so below the surface, or
That's about 4. Hey,
4 or 5?
well, it's just where the slot goes. The rest of it should be about equal.
Now I chose to use the 24-inch ditching bucket from Muds Customs. By the way, yeah, you can use code TTWT at mudscustoms.com. Overall, this is my favorite bucket for these two little backhoes, the 270B, 260B. There's been a couple of times where it might not have been the perfect because it's, you know, it's a little wider than I need here. But I really like, for our soil types, I like not having teeth for a lot of what we do. So this has been fine. You know, I'm going to set that in there, Chris, and see what it actually looks like. If anything, a little bit low, right?
Actually, it's just there. That's.
Oh, so you had to push down a little bit? So we
Now I need to come up. Actually, it's right on the money.
So we decided to make this pipe here level.
Yes.
The rest of the pipe goes uphill, so the water's coming toward us.
Yep.
Level's going to be fine.
Yeah. So right now it's on the mark.
It's right on the mark right now.
I mean, it's just it tones out as flat.
We actually have plenty of slope to work with going toward you, toward the camera. But we don't have much slope to work with down here, so we decided to make this end of the pipe level. Yeah, I'm twisting my hands like that because the water's coming quite fast downhill. We're going to slow it down for 2 reasons. Number one, it's nice to have the water slowed down somewhat just so it doesn't erode as bad. But secondly, we just don't have any slope to work with down here. So since it'll already be moving, that should not be a problem at all. Now we saw that pipe below Chris's hands had been crushed a little bit. So we thought we were going to cut that off, but once we get in there and look at it, we decide it's really not that big of a deal. How am I doing there, Chris? I can't see the end.
You're good. You're about 4 inches. Right there. That's it.
Okay. It's fascinating. The first time you do this, it's kind of a learning experience, and by the time you do it the second time, you feel like an expert.
Yeah. Where are your pliers, man? I know you got them.
Oh yeah. Gotta have my Nipex. I'm quite frankly fine like that. I'll stand here while you do it.
What do you think?
I think we're working way too fast. We're gonna not get our normal hourly rate.
0?
We use clean rock to put under something like this. You don't want to put loose soil. It's okay to have soil if it's never been moved. I mean, not been moved in the last year or whatever. But you don't want to put loose soil under here because it'll settle out. But if we put rock like this, it won't settle out. So even though we took dirt out of there, soil out of there, we're filling back with the rock. I don't know, you reckon we need more rock under there? It was pretty well sitting down, I think, because that was, we didn't even move it.
No, not really. And you're basically on hard pack.
Yep. Now some folks are going to ask if we could do this with this whole project with the 1025R, and the answer is yes. This would have been a fine project for a 1025R with a backhoe. In fact, I believe we did a similar project last year at our church. We used black plastic double-walled pipe for that, but it was a very similar project. We replaced, in that case, we replaced a crushed pipe, and yeah, it can be done with the 1025R. Now, a secondary project we're accomplishing here, in addition to lengthening or widening our driveway, is we're going to raise it. We're going to raise the entrance here to the road so that we don't go uphill to get onto the road. And we feel like this is going to allow us to keep the rock right at the driveway. As it's been, we've been spinning the tires sometimes as we go out, and that just, you know, makes me have to push that rock toward the road all the time. It's become quite annoying. So we're hoping that if we raise this driveway all the way across here, that we should be able to not have that much issue. Now the pile of dirt we were pushing into Chris's had just been dumped there with a bucket. This pile has been driven over a bunch of times because we made this pile with some box blades, and you can see that video where we just kept dumping box blade load after load on top of it. So we kept packing it down with the tractor. It's a little more difficult to pick up. For this part of a project, having teeth on the bucket would have been better. Digging in these rocks, there's no question, but I do not yet have a Mudd's custom quick attach. So whatever bucket I start a project with is what I use for the whole project. Thankfully, you guys keep Mudd's Custom pretty busy on our behalf, and we appreciate that. But that means that I don't get the 2 quick attach kits that I'd like to have. One for the 260B and one for the 270B here. The buckets are interchangeable between a 260B, 270B backhoe, and a 370, which is used on the 3E. I will tell you that I am spoiled by Hydros Plus. Absolutely spoiled. This tractor does not have the expanded pump, so I don't get the higher flow, and my goodness, I notice it. The 1025R with Hydros Plus is much faster than this tractor. Hydrosplus.com, yeah, code TTWT. But it wouldn't matter if it wasn't code TTWT. I think it's an amazing product. I'm a little too close to my work here. I think I'm deep enough. No, do not have enough out. Okay, try it now.
Looks like a winner.
We could potentially rotate it that way, couldn't we? I don't mean that thing, I mean the bolt,
Oh.
the strap. Having it right on top is where a mower's gonna hit it.
Oh yeah. So you want to bury it.
I guess like that.
Yeah.
Chris, I don't see any reason for you to stay around while I fill all this in, but this has been a great neighbor project.
It has been. My wife has forever wanted that level. So when you go out there, you don't end up slipping down the slopes when it's icy.
Now we'll have another project there. We've got to get power rake out there, get that graded finally, and get it seeded. I think over there especially, we need to let it settle a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it may settle several inches.
I think so. But yeah, this will definitely give you the ability to make your drive as wide as you want.
Yeah, and if you notice, our drive takes a turn here, right?
Yep.
So we put most of it on that side. We think we can kind of make it, where that does that turn, just kind of make it expand, get a little wider.
Oh, all the way out.
All the way out?
So you have it'll fan all the way to the road.
Fan, that's the right word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll
He's
be
got it.
nice.
So that's the idea. And the other thing we're going to do is try to raise this.
So you don't have loose gravel as you take out.
Yeah, so I intend to take this rock away, use some of our myriad buckets full of dirt,
Yeah.
bring that over here, raise this all up, and then put some rock back on it. We'll have to have more rock delivered, of course.
Sure. Yeah. But once it's packed in, it'll just make it easier when you come out. You won't be in an upward attitude anymore. And it is funny. It doesn't look like much of a rise, but it is.
Right there, if you have the rocks loose right at the road, they just bounce.
Yep.
Bounce away
Every
all the
time.
It's pretty difficult. Hey, hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.
As the deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, my God.
And cars.
And a lot of cars. More cars while we're actually trying to talk than when we're not.
True. Now we're done.
Just wait till we have the subdivision.
Yeah,
beside us.
1,533 houses.
Yeah.
That won't increase our traffic at all, will it?
No. No, once we put those spikes out here and they keep flattening the tires on trucks, they'll never come this way.
No, they won't have any issues whatsoever. Unfortunately, it's kind of documented that you're the instigator of that.
Yeah. Well, that could be true.
But you can't prove it.
No.